thing that we're going to talk about tonight is our block progression. Okay, just different drills that we use to implement, our key reads, how we take on blocks, the footwork that's incorporated with it. This first drill that I'm going to show you is what we call our tag and cage block. Okay. And the reason why I call it is because I coached on offense for a number of years, tight ends particularly. And when working with the offensive linemen, they called the backside of the zone play a tag play and the front side a cage play. Okay, so how this first drill, now understand this, I start with this drill because this was probably the most instrumental drill and also technique that I've come up with in my coaching of linebackers, okay, in 15 years, okay? And how this drill is set up is really what we're trying to defend is the zone play. So imagine with me that there's a quarterback in gun, okay, and the tailback is offset to the left, okay, in gun, okay? Now, what I do is I put two linebackers here, okay? This is going to be a backside linebacker, okay, and this is going to be a front side linebacker, okay? Now, there's two bags, 4.5 yards in front of him on the line of scrimmage. And that offensive center is the barrel right there, okay? There's a three technique, okay, that is directly in front. Now, how we play in our defense, we're always going to put that three technique on the running back side, okay? On this side, there's going to be a nose, okay? So this backside backer, he's responsible for this A gap, okay? That three technique has the B gap. Okay, on the front side, this nose, he has the A gap, okay, and this front side backer, okay, he has the B gap, all right? So really in this drill, we're A and B gap defenders, okay? We always try to put, like I said, our three technique to the running back, and now 90% of the time, the running back is going to be offset one way or the other. Sometimes he can be in a pistol, okay, but other times he's going to be offset, and he's going to tell the linebackers, okay, if I'm going to run a zone play, I'm going to run the zone play going to our right. So in this drill right here, I have the quarterback imagining being in a gun and the running back being to the left. I tell these guys that's what's going on. Okay, and so they already know that this backer right here is backside. Okay, now what we teach, and I'll tell you why we teach it in a minute, but what we teach is the backside backer is going to be a fast full player. Okay, what he is trying to do is he is trying to get the zone play cut off. Okay, the front side backer, he is going to be what we call slow to go. Okay, to a rock back. Okay, now in this drill, okay, what I'm looking for is them to step with a tamp step over their right foot. And I tell them the direction. There is no key read. I tell them the direction here. I say running back's on the left, zone play's going to our right. With scrimmage, my hips and my shoulders are going to be square to the line of scrimmage. I'm not, when I'm tamp stepping, I'm not turning, okay, and running. All right, now you can notice number 55, he is fast. He is already on to his second step, okay, where number 20 on the front side, he is slow to go. Okay, so number 55, he's looking to cut this zone play off. Okay, and right here, as that guard, okay, on the tag block. So remember, the tackle and the guard are double teaming the tackle. Okay, as we come fast off, that guard's going to come off. Now, I teach two different techniques right here. Okay, I teach the chop and I teach the rip. Okay, the chop and the rip. Here he's going to be executing the rip. All right, and what he's looking to do is penetrate vertical on the rip. Okay, if the guard never comes off, all right, you're going to come to balance and you're going to make a tackle. We'll talk about that later. Okay, on the front side, okay, we're slow to go. Okay, you can see that number 20 is keeping square to the line of scrimmage. He's working over his right foot, okay, and that zone play is going to get cut off. There's no sense in going to your B gap and protecting your B gap. Okay, I want to work on rock back, so I'm going to plant this right foot. Okay, I'm going to strike, all right? I'm going to now work backside because the zone play is cutting back. There's no sense in me going front side. I want to cut back. And like I said, fellas, teaching my linebackers this has been one of the most instrumental parts in linebacker play. Okay, and what it really does is because I coached on offense and I know that zone plays are designed, okay, to stretch, right? So this is a cage block on the front side of zone, so they're responsible for those two. Okay, they're responsible for those two. And this tackles or this tight end on the backside is going to do a number of things. Usually they're going to scoop the defensive end, or he's going to arc him, and they're going to read him, depending on what the offensive play is. If it's a scoop, then they're going to hand the ball off, and the quarterback's not going to read off of the safety over here. Okay, but what the play is designed to do is stretch this play, okay, and puncture the defense. Okay, what we try to do on defense here is we try to eliminate this play from elongating, okay, to the defense's right. We want to get this thing cut off. I'm drawing a wall right here. We want to get this thing cut off as fast as possible. And the reason why we want to do that is because I don't want to make this C gap right there, okay, that B gap right there, and that A gap. I want those gaps to be small. I don't want them to be big, okay? I don't want them to be big where the running backs got lanes to run through, okay? And so that's why we play fast on the backside of zone. Now, like I said, 90% of the time, okay, the back is going to be offset. Okay, if he's in pistol, now we have to read it, okay, off of the footwork of the running back, the offensive line, and the quarterback. Okay, but here we know the back is offset to the defense's left. Okay, zone play is going to be coming here. 13 is going to be backside, which we call fast flow. Okay, number 20 is get front side. He is slow to rock back. Okay, so you can see how this play develops right here. And number 13, he is going with a rip, okay? He's got to anticipate this arm coming out from the guard right here, okay? He's going with the rip. Now, if you got a really good 3 technique, they can hold on to number 51, which we do, and this happens all the time, and I could have put multiple clips on here, okay? But I wanted to show the technique of what we do when 51 does come off, okay? But if 51 doesn't, we're running right through here for a TFL. All right, it's like freaking clubbing baby seals, okay? But if not, okay, we're running through here now, okay, and we've got to defeat this arm that comes off, okay? And he went with the rip. Okay, so he's leaning back in. He's got a penetration to the running back, right? And he's forcing this thing to come back. Now, look on the front side. Okay, like I said, it doesn't make sense. We're a B-gap defender. Everything in our defense is gapped out. Okay, so we put the nose, okay, away from the running back. The 3 technique is right here. Okay, he's got the A gap, he's got the B gap. It doesn't make sense to run downhill. Okay, so what we're looking to do now is rock back. If this play does continue, I tell them, I want you to stay front side. The number one most important thing that you do, okay, is handle your B gap before you look to rock back. Okay, now as we go to rock back, the hand placement, I didn't talk about that. His right hand should land. Okay, remember, fellas, we are not taking offensive linemen on square. Okay, we're taking on half of a man, all right? Half of an offensive lineman. So his right hand is landing on the chest plate. His left hand is landing on the shoulder, all right? And we are doing what we call rock back technique, okay? So that's kind of the drill that we use, okay, to signify, all right, what we're doing. Now, I put this one on here because you can see the tailback flop sides. Okay, so he went from being on the left now to being on the right. Tells the linebackers, all right, the likelihood of zone play, okay, is going to take place to their left. So this backer is going to be fast, okay, this backer is going to be slow. Okay, remember, we put the 3 technique, which I identified him as being the tackle, always to the running back side. That way, okay, I can have this running back, this linebacker run through the A gap, all right, and force that running back to cut back fast. Okay, this is the tag block that's going to take place between the guard and the tackle. It's going to work up right here. This is the cage block, okay, between the center and the guard that's going to work up to the front side backer. Okay, so you can see as this play develops, right, that's low hat read. Now, in their key reads, what I have them do is they've got to be able to see the flow, okay, of all these guys right here, the flow of all these guys. Okay, the older they get, the better they're at it. At the same time, with the top half of their eye, okay, they're reading what's going on in the backfield. Okay, so they have to be able to broaden their vision. Now, the one thing that I don't like from this linebacker right here is he's too tight. Okay, I put the heels at 4.5 yards deep. Okay, the tighter you are to the line of scrimmage, the harder it is to broaden your vision. Okay, from the tackle all the way to the tight end. So 4.5 yards deep. okay, would be his minus right now. He's a tamp step. I really like his first step. He's gaining ground, okay? That's in that tamp step is 45 degrees. Now, he's gained 3 or 4 inches, which is okay. And what I tell my guys, as long as you're not stepping underneath yourself, okay, and you're gaining ground or putting it down right in the same spot, that is fine. Okay, but he knows because of running back's alignment, he's going to be working over his left foot if it's full flow. Okay, so weight is distributed on the insteps. He's stepping over his left foot, gaining ground, right, on his tamp step, and now he knows he's fast. Here comes that arm of that guard on that tag block. He knows he's going to have to rip through that. Okay, he's got to get through that arm, anticipate that thing coming. But like I said, fellas, this is more of a scheme to technique thing that I'm talking about here. Okay, that running back is forced to cut back right now because of how fast number 20 is. Okay, now, like I said, everything that we do defensively is gapped out. So the 3 technique, he has that V gap right there. Okay, this defensive end, he has that C gap, and the safety, he's going to fold and fit into the D gap. This backer we know has the A gap. Okay, so we're trying to get this zone play cut off and to make these backside gaps right here as small as possible. We always put the 3 technique to the running back side. The reason why we do that, okay, is because it's more of an anchor. Okay, if you have the nose, so there's a nose there. Okay, if you have the nose, the guard can wash, okay, that nose pretty much by himself. If he needs help, he'll get the tackle's help. But what the tackle's going to be doing is he's going to be sprinting on the tag block for number 20, okay? And it makes it really hard for this defensive end right here to play this C gap, okay? They can either arc and, excuse me, I wrote B, this C gap right here. They can either arc and make that C gap really big, or what he can do is try to slip him, and now this D gap out here for the safety is really big. Okay, so that's why we put the 3 technique right there. Now, like I always tell the front side backer, if you're not sure, okay, we're talking front side V gap. If you're not sure, okay, see the shoulders of the tailback. If the shoulders are pointing downhill, okay, he's going to cut back. Okay, if the shoulders are pointing downhill, he's going to cut back. If his shoulders are turned, okay, and he's working lateral, so it went from, in the offense's case, this is going to the right, so from a 22 play, zone play, to a 26 zone play. Okay, so if the shoulders are turned, you are looking to rock back sooner. So number 13, he gets a minus right here because he stays front side. Like I said, that right there, that's not going to help anybody going through that gap. I want you to rock back and look to make the play back in here. Yeah, it's going to be a 5-yard gain, but at least it's not going to slip through and go to the house. Okay, so you're a default linebacker right there. Okay, now same thing, same drill. Okay, same drill. Let me show you here. Now, quarterback is in gun. Here's our center. Okay, and the guard is right here. So these guys are working the nose. Here's the nose right here up to the backer, just like that, just like I just showed you. Okay, here's the tackle. Coach is the guard right here. Okay, quarterback is here. Tailback is here. We're running zone play going to the right. Your backside backer, okay, your front side backer. Okay, now, instead of whipping, now we're going to chop. Okay, so he worked over his tamp step, right foot. Worked over his tamp step, right foot. He's going to be fast flow. Okay, so here he goes. Now that as that arm comes out, okay, as that arm comes out, instead of ripping up, now we're going to chop down. I love the chop more than I love the rip. Okay, because offensive linemen, they go to stick that arm out and think that they can grab onto you. If you break that arm down, okay, you can blow by that arm and get a lot of TFL. So I love the chop. Okay, a little bit more than I love the rip. The rip has more of a tendency, okay, to put your shoulder into it, which I don't like. Okay, I like that shoulder keeping free. Okay, the same thing's happening right here on the front side. We're slow to go. We're looking to rock back. Okay, here's just a clip of we're going to stem from an odd front to a 4-down front right here. So it's kind of a late stem, but we know the running back's offset here. Okay, here's our 3 technique here. Okay, this is the tag block that's going to be coming, working up to number 20. Okay, now the reason why is because I want to show you that arm that comes up right there. Okay, he's going to go for a chop. Okay, bam, he knocks that wrist down, and now I want him to work back in that direction. What I don't like about him is he's a little too lateral right here, okay, rather than coming a little more downhill. Okay, they do have to mimic the play of the offense for sure. Okay, but I want that freaking line drawn, and I want that running back having to cut back right here. Okay, but you can see he's going to chop that arm down. Bam, he's going to get through the hole. And like I said, I like to chop a little bit more than I like to rip. They're both effective. Okay, in the scheme of things and what we're trying to do. Okay, but chop, in my opinion, is just a little bit better. Okay, coaches, any questions with that drill? Why we do it? What we do? Okay. Like I said, that was kind of more of a schematic thing than actual, hand placement, stuff like that. That's a pivotal part of what we do defensively and stopping a full flow zone play. No questions? Okay. All right, next thing that we do, block progression. Like I said, taking on pullers, spill, reverse, fit, okay, is what we perform a lot here at University of Utah. The reason why I like spill, reverse, fit, cause the ball to go lateral. I don't want the ball to go north and south. When I coach on offense, I know those guys are wrapping around the deuce block or coming around the trade block, and they're looking to get vertical on those gap plays and those gap schemes. I want the front side backer to spill. Okay, and I want the backside backer to reverse fit. Okay, another thing and the reason why is because usually if we leverage on the front side, okay, leverage on the front side, so we're going to force the tailback, okay, to cut back, and we're leveraging on the front side. What happens is this is a deuce block between the tackle and the guard. Okay, they're double teaming, all right, our three technique, and they're working to this backside backer. Okay, what happens is this backside backer, he has to work in this fashion. Okay, if you're leverage on the front side, your leverage right here, okay, which makes it really hard to defeat the deuce block. I would rather work in a lateral fashion, okay, which keeps us cleaner. All right, makes it easier for that backside backer to get over top, okay, of that block. So here's the drill that I set up that I work with my guys. Okay, I put these bags, they're about 7 yards apart. You can move them however you want, as far as you want. Okay, I put mine at 7 yards apart. Okay, I put a pulling guard. Okay, this guard can pull around either direction. Now, these step over bags that are here, they indicate a deuce block. If you know a gap scheme, you know that you're getting a double team. Okay, and on offense, they're trying to move that double team. They're trying to move the anchor of the defensive tackle. Okay. And so what we're trying to do here is we're trying to mimic the direction of the puller. Okay, so they're going to start with their tamp steps. Okay, they don't know the direction. Okay, that 6-inch step working right over the right. Okay, and downhill. Okay, now this backside or this front side backer, excuse me, he is working downhill, and I want him to come as tight as possible. Okay, tight as possible. You can see his path is going to be inside out right here. He is spill. Okay, now hand placement. What I want is I want that right hand, okay, to land on the chest plate. Remember, guys, we're playing half a man. We're not taking this pulling guard on head up, okay? We are spilling this one. So we're going to take on the inside half. My right hand is going to land on the chest. Okay, my left hand is going to land on the shoulders, and my eyes are going to be in. So if the running back does cut back, it's going to be the front side backer's play to make it out inside. Okay, so you can see him, okay, as he strikes, bam, he punches, right, he's going to finish inside. Okay, now, the backside backer, he's working lateral like I talked about. He's working in that fashion, okay, because he is trying to get off a block that's coming at him. He's got to go around it. Okay, so he's working lateral. A good aiming point that I tell these guys is chase the hip of the front side backer. Okay, chase the hip of the front side backer. This is a tackle wrap play, okay, versus Texas in the bowl game. Okay, we know that it's going to be either full flow zone going to our right, okay, or okay, they're going to double team, okay, which we call this ace block. You can see the double team right here between the guard and the center. Okay, so they're responsible for number 52 and number 13. Ace block means center and guard back to the backside backer. Okay, so there's that double team. Now, 13 should work lateral. Okay, remember, if he works downhill, this guard, this center and guard will pick him up all day long. Okay, so he has got to work lateral. Okay, now you're sitting there saying, who has this front side A gap? Okay, what we do is we teach this 3 technique that's on the running back side. That if the tackle pulls, you have to pop. Okay, so that you'll see that tackle 99. He's going to pop into that A gap. Okay, because the offensive tackle pulled. Now, really good read by number 20 on the front side. He saw the tackle. That tells me that his eyes are right. Okay, he's reading these 6 guys. Okay, he's seeing in the top half of his eyes of the backfield set. He sees this tackle pulling all the way from here. He knows that he's a spill player. Okay, so you can see that he is inside right here. This is spill. Okay, and the lateral part, which I don't love number 13's footwork. You can see him stepping too much downhill with that first foot. Okay, I want him to see that puller cleaner and work more lateral. Okay, he starts to get it on the second and third step. Okay, but I want to see it on the first step, and now he's going to work on what we call reverse fit over top. Okay, now it's a shitty tackle by him here. He needs to be making this tackle. Right, he gets held up a little bit right here, but he needs to be making this tackle on the backfield. Okay, but that's the spill reverse fit. That's the drill that we work, okay, to execute that. Okay, any questions with spill reverse fit? Why? Anything on that one? You guys are kind of a quiet group. Normally I have 100 questions by now.
Hey, Coach Swan, I came late. Sorry, technical issue. I got a question. So is your hand striking with cross face and rock back, is that more to get off the block rather than neutralize, or like a little bit of both?
It's to get off the block, and we'll talk about that part of it is like where the hand actually is placed, and the thumbs and the elbows and all that stuff in this next thing right here.
Okay.
Those last 2 things is kind of more of schematics of what we do versus pullers and what we do versus full flow. Okay. Hey, Coach Tucker.
Yes.
I'm getting a deal that's coming up on my Zoom, and it says the host has asked you to start your video.
Yeah, well, I just can't see you. I just didn't know if that was on your end or.
Okay. Can you see the?
We can see the screen.
You can see Tamp Step Rock Back right now?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so this is the nuts and bolts of teaching my guys footwork, stance, okay, and the progression of getting to what we just talked about, okay? So the drill that I call right here, this is a block, we call block recon, okay? So they're reading the direction of the offensive lineman. Now, in this one, the linebackers are in that circle, okay? The offensive line is back here, okay? So what we're going to do is the offensive line is going to work in a zone fashion going to the defense's left, okay? All right, those are the offensive linemen, all right? What I tell these guys to do is you're going to shade to the right, okay? I tell them right now, I'm standing behind them, I'm talking to them. Sorry, guys, let me get to this. Okay, I'm talking to them. I want you shaded to the right, okay? I want you to tamp step over your left foot, okay? So you can see every one of them, tamp step over your left. I give them the direction. Okay, I want you to work downhill in a 45-degree fashion. Okay, now on contact is we are going to rock back. Okay, kind of what we talked about in some of those schematics. Okay, when I go to rock back, I know that I'm playing this half of the body. Okay, I'm on this side. This is my gap. Okay, over here. So what I want my to do is I want my left hand to land on the chest plate, my right hand to land on the shoulder. Okay. I'm going to step with my left foot, okay, right to the midsection, okay, to give them a visual right underneath their jump, okay. I'm going to step with my left foot right underneath the midsection, okay, and that allows me to stop my momentum as I strike, okay, and rock back. So I'm going to stand as I come through, okay, right here. I'm going to look to extend as I come through. All right, as I punch right there. Now, when I snap those elbows through, okay, my thumbs should be up. Okay, my thumbs should be up, so you can see that's a good picture right there. Thumbs are up, my elbows are snapped and extended through. Okay, and now I'm using the momentum of the offensive lineman to help me get off of him. So I'm planted with my left foot. Okay. I planted that left foot right there, okay, and I'm basically going to throw him by as I'm rocking back. Okay, so that's kind of a rock back technique that we do. Okay, this is just linebackers kind of working square and using their outside foot. Okay, so you can see right here, I want you to watch this backer. He's going to plant that left foot right there. Okay, he's working to the left. He's going to plant. He's going to rock back. Okay, you can see the hand placement and the strike. Okay, I want you to notice right here his right hand. The one thing I don't like about number 20 right here is he's high. Okay, number 20 is a big kid, 6'3", all right, real long levered kid, but he's super high. Okay, I love that his hands are inside. Okay, so the chance of him winning right here is going to be really good, getting that extension. Okay, really good. Now, you can see number 13. Okay, his hand is inside. You can see the offensive lineman. They're going to try to grab and hold your outside shoulders. Okay, but if you get great extension right here, okay, and are able to snap off and rock back, use number 62's momentum, okay, to plant this right foot right here and rock back. That's the important part of it. So good hand placement. Right hand is on the chest. Okay, remember, he's protecting that. We're protecting that right there. Okay, we're not taking these guys on full. Okay, so that is what we call tamp to rock back. All right, the hand placement, all right, is with inside placement on the chest of the offensive lineman. Okay, now this, okay, is tamp.
Hey, Coach.
Yep.
Quick question. What is your alignment for your linebackers as far as your heels? You have them 3, 4 yards, 5 yards off the ball?
Yep, 4.5 yards deep. Okay, now in this drill, you'll see them at 5.
Okay.
When we're lined up in a 9-on-7, 11-on-11 progression, they will be lined up at 4.5 yards deep, heels at 4.5 from the line of scrimmage.
Okay, thank you, Coach.
Yep, absolutely. Okay. All right. So now block recon. Here's the linebackers down here. Now you got a butt shot of it. O-line is going to be up here. Okay. We are shaded to the right. I tell you, I'm standing right behind them. Shade to the right. Okay. I'm telling them you're going to tamp to the left. Right. We're going to work to the left. Okay. And now I tell them what I want on the strike. Now we're going to cross face. So we went from a tamp step, all right, to strike to a rock back. Now I want a tamp step to a strike to cross face. Okay, meaning that the tailback, right, is running front side, and I've got to get around the offensive lineman. Now I got to control the other half of the offensive lineman. Okay, so let's take a look at 43. Let's just watch him. Okay, he stepped over his left foot. Okay, his hips and shoulders should stay semi-square to the line of scrimmage. Okay, now his right hand. Okay, remember, the tailback is going front side. Okay, this is not going to be rock back where we want to come backside. Now my right hand should be on the chest. My left hand needs to be on the shoulder. Okay, because I'm going to control the left side right here. Okay, so I love the pad level. Okay, you can see where he's striking. His pad level is good. He's controlling the outside half. That looks pretty good by that backer. Okay, this backer looks like he never really brought his hips through. So you can see the line, all right, in the body compared to this guy. Okay, it's just no different than power clean. When you're on contact, I want your body to be linear. Okay, I don't want your body to be broken. Okay, so use your hips in your strike. Okay, and now we're going to finish on the front side. Now, as far as the rip goes, fellas, okay, what I teach more or less is stop your momentum, okay, or continue your momentum to help your rip, okay? So right here, they're going to take their left hand and they're going to pull it for their right hip, okay? So the direction that you're going, you're going to take your offhand, you're going to pull through your hip. That's all I teach as far as rip goes, fellas. I don't teach freaking all this crap you see on YouTube, all right? All I do is teach is pull for the off hip. Okay, so for example, this backer here, he's going to take his left hand and he's going to pull for his right hip. Okay, bam, punch. Now, I don't love his punch. He's kind of just playing the drill here a little bit. Okay, his right hand is not landing on that chest. Okay, his left hand needs to be pulling for his right hip. Pull yourself through. Okay, so that is a tamp step. Okay, that's a tamp step. You're going to strike, and now you're going to cross face. So here it is. Okay, this is a wide zone play. You can see because the quarterback, God dang it, sorry, fellas, I missed. Let me go back. Okay, so you can see, watch number 20 right here. This is a wide zone play. And the reason why I know is because the quarterback's under center, okay, and the running back's shoulders are turned. So 20, as being the A-gap defender, the 3 technique gets reached. He now turns into a B-gap defender right here. Okay, so he's got to take a wider path. Okay, and this is going to be a cage block. So the center and guard working up to him, okay, and the guard is going to come off right here. Okay, so you can see as he's striking, he's taking on that outside hand, or outside half of that body. Okay, his right hand is on the chest. Okay, and you can already see where he's getting a minus. Number 20 again. Okay, the one thing I'm constantly coaching with him is pad level. Okay, he has got to get down, but he gets the extension. So his hand placement is correct. His pad level gets better, okay, on the strike, and now he's crossing face of that offensive lineman. Okay, his left hand needs to pull for his hip. Okay, get yourself through right here. Okay, get yourself through, which he is doing. Right, ends up in on the play, but this is the tamp to strike cross face is the progression that I'm talking about. Okay, watch this one. Okay, watch number 13 right here. Okay, so this is a track play that Arizona ran versus us right here. Okay, they're bringing the tight end back from a wing side. Okay, you can see that we're treating this to tamp over a right foot. So 13's coming right here. Okay, now right here, 73 is working at number 13. So he is going to what we do cross face. Okay, so he's controlling this, what would be his right side. Okay, his right side, he's controlling that right side. Pad level's good. You can see the right hand is on the shoulder, the left hand is on the chest. Okay, now this offensive center for Arizona State was one of the best in the country. Okay, so this tells you right here the technique that we're using works. Okay, so he's clearing, he's crossing face. Now, I want to see him pull, okay, pull this hand through. Get yourself through and go vertical. Stop the lateral movement that you're doing right here. Okay, but you can see it's a really good punch because number 73, it gets shocked and gets knocked back right here. Bam, get through. Okay, so remember, this is tamp, step, strike, cross face, where the first one was tamp, step, strike, rock, back. Okay, now the last one that I teach, all right, is tamp, step, okay, to swipe and swim. Okay, so here we go. The linebackers are down here again. Offensive linemen, all right, are up top. Okay, now what I tell them, guys, I say this is a wide zone play. When we swipe and swim, all right, we are evading the block. We are not engaging. And we engage when the play is coming downhill, all right, and the offensive linemen are directly in front of the ball. Okay, we are evading when the offensive linemen, okay, are coming up to us, but the ball is clear out here. Okay, we don't want to go downhill at them. We want to run, all right, in more of a lateral fashion. Okay, so we are hunting the ball, right, in a lag position. So what I tell them, tamp step over your left. Okay, you are going to stay on the move, swipe and swim. Okay, swipe and swim or chop and stay on the move. So two things that I teach here, swipe and swim. So you can see right here, he's taking his left hand, okay, he is swiping through his chest. He's keeping his target clean, okay, he's taking his back hand and he's swimming through with it, okay. Do not engage him, all right, evade him. So keep his hands off of you, all right, evade as I'm coming through, okay, and this is what it looks like right here. So lateral play. This is a toss play. Okay, we're not going to engage any of these blocks. We're working lateral. We're not working downhill. Okay, this ball is out in front of me. Okay, this ball is out in front of me, and I've got to work, okay, downhill at it. Now, let me actually go back to the wide, and I want you to watch number 13. Okay, watch him right here. Okay, number 13, as he's working lateral, here comes that hand. He can do one of two things. He can either chop with his left hand, okay, which I teach the chop just in the same thing that we talked about earlier. He's going to chop with his left hand and stay on the move, or he's going to take his outside arm right here. Okay, he's going to take his right hand right here, and he's going to swipe and protect his chest. Okay, so he goes for the chop. Now, he misses it. Okay, but that's one thing that I love about the chop is that if you miss it, a lot of times that shoulder disappears and the offensive lineman can't get to you. Okay? But that's that lateral footwork, okay, that I'm talking about. Tamp step to the right, okay, over my right knee, and now I'm working lateral. Okay, now I'm working lateral. Okay, and what we're doing, guys, is we are running backs without the football. So we are mirroring his path. His path was coming zone here, we would mirror that. His path is going toss here, we're mirroring that. Okay, so we're camp step over our right foot. Okay, you can see both of them really good with their right foot. Okay, what I love to see is the knee is directly over the toe. That tells you it's a good camp step. Okay, if the foot is clear out in front of that knee, it tells you the heel struck first. Okay, I want a toe strike first. That means get the knee over the toe. Okay, we'll talk tackling here in a little bit.
Coach, quick question. When you first,
We're
when you're
moving on
teaching
because
that,
that's a good time to ask a question. Any questions there?
yeah, here, Coach, real quick, with teaching that that technique, do you do it without movement first and kind of just have them play half the man and show them where hand placement is and what you really want?
No, not necessarily. I pretty much the introduction part of it is when I do it when we're just dummying for each other. And so, and I just kind of slow it down and walk them through it. And it might be at the very beginning of spring ball when we're working on this stuff. When we, or when I get the freshmen and I'm doing it after practice, stuff like that, where I've got to, like you said, really slow it down and teach it to them. But no, I won't have them do it on air. I'll always have them execute those three things: tamp to the left, strike, cross face; tamp to the left, strike, rock back; tamp to the left. Okay, stay on the move, swipe, and swim. I'll have them always do it versus a partner.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Good. Okay, tackling toolbox. All right, here we go. We're going to start with what we call lag tackle. That's coming in from behind, staying behind the football, keeping the running back, all right, working, okay, lateral rather than getting ahead of him and forcing him to cut back. Okay, so the word I use is lag, stay behind the running back as we're pursuing. Okay, so how this drill's worked up is the running back is over here. Okay, the running back's got two different holes that he can cut up in. Okay, I mark them with a step over bag. Okay, so this drill goes from the sideline to the hatch. This running back is going to work lateral, and he's either going to cut up in that hole or he's going to cut up in that hole. Okay, now we as linebackers, we're right here. Okay, we're going to tamp step over our right foot. Okay, we're going to swipe and swim on the first whistle. Okay, so the first whistle is blown. Okay, he's going to tamp step over his right foot. He is going to swipe and swim right here. Okay, and then he gets back into position. Okay, meaning take on the offensive lineman and then get back into position. That's the most important part. Stay behind the running back. Okay, I want you to be mirroring that hip. Stay behind him. Okay, we're going to be working 45 degree angle downhill. Okay, this is a two whistles, so the first whistle's already blown. Okay, the running back just trots out. That's all he does. Notice the running back. See, he just trots out of there on the first whistle. On the second whistle, he takes off. Okay, he takes off. When that running back takes off, we take off. Now, the coaching point when we take off is keep your hips, okay, and your shoulders squared to that line of scrimmage. So there's my hips, there's my shoulders. I don't want to be like this running in that direction. Okay, I want to have my eyes forward with my hips and shoulders square to that line of scrimmage. So as I'm running right here, okay, it's not a track event, it's not a track race, okay, where I'm running, all right, as fast as I can to get to that point. Okay, I've got to mirror this running back, so I've got to keep my hips and shoulders square, all right, and anticipate this running back cutting up. Okay, and when I see that running back cut up, I got to plant that right foot, that outside foot, okay, and cut up and finish on this inside hip. Okay, so you can see him. This is what we call an uppercut tackle. Okay, so this is more staying up. Okay, we teach a lot of low tackling, launch tackling. We'll talk about it here in a second. But this is an uppercut tackle. What I love his hat placement. Right, his pad level. Right, he's uncoiling with his hips right here. Bam. Okay, and that's a great finish. All right, by that linebacker. Okay, I'm gonna go by this one. Okay, so here's just a lag tackle. Okay, all All right, now I'll talk about the launch, right? But this is a lateral play. You can see 13. He first wanted to go downhill, okay? He read the running back shoulders and going lateral, and you'll see that he changes his angle. So the drill that I just showed you, okay, that lag tackle, takes place right here. See how he's behind and he is mirroring that hip? That's what he's looking for right here, okay? He doesn't want to be out here in this position, forcing that running back to cut back. He wants to mirror this hip right here, okay? And he always wants to be forcing that running back to be going lateral, okay, to be going lateral. Now, you can see the corner is going to come up, and he's going to force, okay, it takes that ball, brings it back to that linebacker. That is the lag part of what I'm talking about. See how his hips and shoulders, okay, are square to that line of scrimmage, okay, versus like this guy, okay? He's in a pursuit angle. His hips and shoulders are square with the sideline, so it's different. This is not pursuit, okay? This is lagging the football. Okay, so that's lag tackle. Now I'm going to actually talk about the launch part of what he just executed, and we can go back to see if he does a great job. Okay, here's the drill that we do. We call it launch tackle, fellas. University of Utah was #1 in the country in this last year, okay, in amount of missed tackles. So we had the least amount of missed tackles, okay, in the country. All right, we were #2 overall in total defense, okay. So we were really salty on defenses this last year. Okay, part of why we were is because we teach what we call launch. Okay, launch tackle. Apologize here. Let me jump forward. Okay, so in teaching this drill, okay, the first thing that I talk to my guys about is closing the distance, getting from point A to point B as fast as possible. Okay, so you're full speed sprinting right here. Okay, I'm getting right here. Now, as I get closer, okay, to where I either have to make a tackle or change directions, I'm going to do what I call come to balance, okay? And in that buzzword, I use the word creep, okay? So close, okay, creep, close, creep, come to balance. Now, when we talk about come to balance, we're widening our base, okay? We're bending at the knees, and we're bending at the hips. So we look like that. Okay, that's the angle. We're bending the knees, we're bending the hip. Okay, we've got a flat back as we're coming here, and the weight now, really, fellas, is distributed just as if we're in our linebacker stance. That weight distributes to the instep of our foot. Okay, and now we're going to do what we call redirect. Okay, so we need to redirect at some sort of an angle here in order to make this. Now, me as the coach, they don't know the direction. I'm going to roll that wheel to the right or to the left. They've got to react to the direction, okay, which really forces them to come to balance. All right, now, he knows that this is getting rolled that way. He's going to push off of that left foot. I could do this drill for hours, fellas, okay, to teach my guys tackling. So they're going to push off that left foot, okay? Now, with this right foot, don't step underneath yourself. Gain ground with that thing in the direction. So a lot like that tamp step, okay? Tackling, all right, or the setup for the tackle is a lot like what linebackers do in your natural footwork, okay? We're blessed with that. Is because really we're come to balance. We're in a linebacker stance right here, okay? And now we're pushing off that foot. We're gaining ground just as we're tam stepping, okay? Now, that's the redirect part. Let's talk about the launch part, okay? His aiming point is the knees, okay? His eyes are low, okay? Aiming point is the knees, okay? Now, what I teach them is you shoot your hand through, and I want your palms down. Okay, so you can see him right here. Shoot that near arm through. That tells me you're going with a violent wrap. Okay, and I want your palms down. Bam, right there. Okay, you're going to roll onto the wheel, okay, to protect yourself so you're not just constantly landing on the turf. Okay, but that was a really good rep by him. Close the distance, point A to point B. Okay, come to balance. All right, come to balance. Now, if I roll the wheel right now, okay, I want to see him come to balance and go from there. Okay, but I haven't rolled the wheel yet, so he's got to keep closing. Come to balance, redirect. Now, you can see he does a great job of pushing off with his right foot. However, his left foot, okay, is going to step underneath himself, so he didn't gain ground with that first step. Okay, so that would be the negative in that right there. Okay, he's low, his eyes are low, he's launching, his palms are down, okay, and he is violently wrapping. Okay, I want a violent wrap right here. Okay, so here's this drill right here. I want you to watch number 13. Okay, and why we do it and show that it actually is used. Okay, so here's 13. The first thing that he's going to do is he's going to close the distance. He's sprinting downhill. Okay, now he gets in the hole and he's head up with this running back right here. Okay, that running back can either cut back this way, just like the tackling will. He's head up with him. Okay, so he's not in that lag position like he was against Washington that you saw him. Okay, so he's closed. Okay, let me show you here. Okay, another thing that helps him, all right, is the back flop sides. So he knows he's the backside backer. He is going to be fast on this full flow. Okay, so he's closed the distance. Okay, here's another thing telling you fellas to revert back to the drill. Okay, is that number 63, okay, he doesn't come off. Okay, you can see that hand, that arm never came out, okay, to get the guard, or to get the linebacker. Guard's arm never came off. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about, is if you can execute that drill that I was telling you, we get TFLs. Okay, but here he goes. He's come to balance. Okay, now he's redirecting. He's pushing off, okay, of that foot right there. He's pushing off his right foot. That weight is distributed correctly right here. He's a very athletic kid. Okay, he's pushed off that right foot. His base is wide. Okay, you say, Coach, how wide do you want their feet? I want their feet outside the framework of their shoulders. Okay, that's what we're looking for. Feet as wide as the framework of their shoulders. Now, what I would tell him is to go low. Okay, you come up high right here. Okay, only two things are going to happen. You come up high, you're going to reach and grab his face mask, or you're going to reach and grab the back of his pads. Both of them equal penalties. Okay, so go low when you launch tackle. Not really good footwork, not great tackle. Okay, any questions? Okay, I'm gonna end it there. Hopefully you guys grabbed something out of there. Can you guys see me now? Or am I still sharing?
Your screen is
There you go.
there you go. Yeah.
There we go. Okay, any questions, coaches?
Hey, Coach, I had a question.
Okay, Andy, go ahead.
So in the spill and rock back technique, what about if you had an odd front?
Same thing. So any gap schemes, I would teach them the exact same thing. Spill, reverse, spit. And the reason being is it doesn't matter if you're in an odd front or an even front. Okay, you're going to get a double team no matter what, okay, versus a gap scheme, okay? And when that double team comes, the reverse spit part of it works lateral, okay? It's really going to help that backside backer get over top of that front side backer. So, yes, I would still do it. We play odd front as well, okay, and I still do it versus gap scheme in an odd front.
Thank you.
Yep. Mark?
Coach, going back, in that one play against ASU center that stuck in my head is your kid's cross facing, but are you concerned about him maybe vacating too much space as he gets across face, or is the key thing coming off that block and not getting tied up?
No, if he was to vacate space, now that play was a trap play, okay? They were trapping the nose guard on it. So the front side guard vacated. He actually arced around the nose and they were trapping it. So in that play, I don't have a concern with that. Now we were executing what we call a full a rock flow. Just a different type of flow that our backers recognize versus, full flow, split flow, all different types of flow. So he was executing a different type of flow for him, but no, in that center coming off on him, if he would have vacated too much, I would tell the 3 technique, it's his job to make up space on the backside of him.
Okay, and do you find this technique maybe makes it a little bit more difficult for the offensive line to hold the piss out of him all the time?
Yeah, in taking on half a man, I think is what you're kind of alluding to. Yes, and the hand placement, and really it's that inside arm that helps him because that's the one that gets the extension. Okay, now, as you guys know, man, clinic talk, a lot of face mask is involved in that. Okay,
Right.
Clinic talk is you run up there and you're striking with your hands, you got your thumbs up, you're snapping your elbows through, you're getting the full extension and all that stuff. But as you guys know, all of us played linebacker, right? You're using your face to help you snap your elbows through for your extension. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I tell my guys, hey man, when it comes to freaking headbutting and using whatever tools you got to use to get those freaking offensive linemen back, do it. Okay, do it. And that's in the engage part of it. When it's evade, I don't want you touching him. Okay, or I want you swiping, swimming, or I want you chopping and moving by him. So when that ball's directly behind him, you're engaging that guy.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. Thanks.
Yep. Any other questions?
Hey,
Hey, Coach,
maybe one-
in a zone scheme, are you reading guard to tackle or are you reading back?
Okay, so in a full flow zone, what I do is I'm teaching them that in the bottom peripheral of their eyes, they are reading all the offensive linemen. Okay, every single one of them, because when you get to our scheme or to our level of play, we're getting pullers from guards to centers to tackles. Okay, so we've got to be able to see all 5 of those offensive linemen. Okay, and how I train them on that is I put 5 guys up. We dummy with each other. I put 5 guys up. Okay, and I just pull them any one of those 5 guys, and I pull them in that direction. Okay, and then I'll put a running back in behind him. So I've got 5 linebackers that are mimicking offensive linemen, if this makes sense. I'm trying to describe a visual for you here. Okay, I put 2 linebackers at linebacker depth directly in front of them, and I stand behind the linebackers, all right, and I tell them, okay, I want the right tackle to pull to the left. Okay, so I'll tell the other 4 offensive linemen to step down and you pull this direction, and I make sure that they can see all 5, okay, pulling in certain directions. Okay, and that's just where I get their eye set and train to key read all offensive linemen. Okay, I want the bottom half of the eyes to see the offensive lineman. Okay, so that's in kind of your what I call the peripheral, but I want you to be looking in the backfield. So now that I can see, okay, the angle of the running back's shoulders, I can see whether he's going flat, I can see whether he's coming downhill. Okay, so the second progression of that is I add a running back to it, so then the guys know that, hey, this is a puller, but it's a lateral play, it's a toss play, or this is a puller, but it's a inside gap scheme play.
Gotcha, Coach. Thank you.
Yep. Any other questions?
just maybe one real quick on teams. So you're setting your 3 away from the back if it's a 1 back, or 2.
Nope.
You said to the backside. Okay. What
Correct.
if you had 2 backs?
So if we had 2 backs and they're identical tailbacks, both of them tailbacks, or there's one of them's going to get the football and the other one's a fullback back there. Like, and what's the formation?
It's a gun and they're on each side of the quarterback. Would that
Okay,
be
so
like
they're in a split gun look.
Yeah.
Okay, and both of them are tailbacks.
Yeah. Would
Okay.
it be a thing or
So
field?
if that's the case, we're going to have an extra defender in the box with us, right? Because right now they've got a 7-man box, okay, and we don't want to be in there with a 6-man box, or we're going to get gashed. So we'll bring a safety down in, okay. And what we'll do is we always put the 3 technique to the safety, okay, is what we always do. If they've got a completely balanced, like you're talking, okay, with 2 backs, okay, quarterback in gun, and a split alignment. So they're on both sides of the running back. What we call split alignment, not near, not far. Split alignment is we're always going to put the 3 technique to the safety. Okay. And that's how we play it. Okay. A couple things is 1, it protects the safety, and 2 is it allows us to line as both backers and the safety. It allows us to line in a 4-3 look. Okay, in a 40-10-40 look, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Got it. Okay, great. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Any other questions?
Coach, is it possible that maybe you could email out a list of your EDD drills and kind of the layering system that you go through your teaching progressions as far as like incoming freshmen,
Yes.
like how you do drills and things like
Yeah,
that?
what I start with, like
Yeah.
I got a kid freaking fresh off the boat and then, you know, coming right from high school, and what's the first thing I would teach him? Like stance, for example, would be the first thing that I teach him, you know, how the weight is distributed on the foot and, you know, all that stuff. Yeah, I have that in progression and can get that to you. Will you send your email, put your email here in the chat, and Coach Tucker will get that. Coach Tucker's on with us, and he's kind of supervising this whole deal. And then I can get you the progression of how I go about it.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.
You bet, Adam. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, well, I appreciate you guys spending, you know, an hour with me. Hopefully there's something there that you got. Like Coach Witt said in his intro, appreciate guys that are trying to sharpen their axe or master their craft. You know,